Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a swatching video and a quick tutorial with the Fenty Killawatt Foil Freestyle highlighters, the dual chrome highlighters. So I have the colors Sandcastle, Minted Mojito, Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset, and 7-Day Weekend and Poolside. They're all pretty different, but they're all beautiful. So I will just jump right into them, and then at the end I will talk about things like formula and all of that good stuff. So I hope this is helpful. So here is our Fenty Killawatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter in the colors 7-Day Weekend on the left and Poolside on the right. 7-Day Weekend is a nice soft pink, and Poolside is like a lilac that's really pretty and has some blue tones in it. And then I'm going to take some Luscious Angel Eyes eyeshadow primer and base and put it on my eyelids and just blend it out with a beauty sponge so I have something that the highlighter is going to be able to stick to, so that I get a little bit more pigmentation and payoff when trying to build up something that looks kind of like an eyeshadow. I put a little bit too much on this eye, so I'm going to flip over the sponge and take off a little bit of that excess product and then just continue blending until I have a nice layer. So I'm going to take 7-Day Weekend and with my finger, just so that I get as much payoff as possible, I'm going to take my finger and blend it onto that inner half of the corner of my eye, from the corner of my eye, working out until I cover about half of the lid. And I'm blending up into the crease a little bit, and then also touching the corner of the eye and working it a little bit down so that I'm also getting some product on that lower edge of the bottom lid. So I'm just going to keep adding product and building that base up so that I get good pigmentation. And then once I've done that, I'm going to switch over to Poolside and start covering that second half of the lid. And again, just using my fingers so that I get nice payoff. And I'm just going to start blending that into the, that outer corner, and then a little bit into the crease, and then slowly working my way up and blending it a little onto that brow bone. So I get a nice soft kind of gradient working up toward the brow bone. We're going to add more stuff on the brow bone later, but we want to add the nice Poolside. It's not perfectly even yet, but we're going to work on that later with a little brush to kind of fine tune everything. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just applying Poolside nicely. And again, where those two colors meet, you're going to kind of blend it into one another so that you get a soft gradient right there. And you don't want a harsh line where it's just very obvious that the two colors are separate. You want to kind of blend it to your taste. Maybe you want a little bit more definition, but I personally wanted a little bit of a softer look. And then slowly I'm going to start working up on the brow bone and adding a little bit more of Poolside, because I'm going to add some more 7-Day Weekend on the brow bone later, but I want to add a nice, again, gradient of Poolside to the brow bone and that lid so that it doesn't just get completely wiped away later, and it doesn't, again, we're trying to fight against harsh lines and patchiness here because these are pretty light colors. So when you feel like you get it to a place that you're pretty happy with, we're going to go and take a little eyeshadow brush of your choice and just start, dipping it in Poolside. You could always use some setting spray if you want to wet it and make sure that you're getting some, spray the tip of the brush so it's a little bit wet, and then take the product. I didn't do that here. I just went straight into the product and then just work it into that lower lash line, and then cover up any spots or patchiness that you feel like you might be seeing, on the upper lid, bottom lid, anywhere where you feel like your finger just didn't quite get the precise coverage that you wanted.
So next we're gonna take 7-Day Weekend just again on our finger. You can use a brush if you'd like, if you prefer to use that for your brow bone, but I often just go in with a finger so that I get some nice coverage again, like nice pigmentation payoff and a nice popping highlight. So just apply that and blend it in on your brow bone. Make sure that you blend it downward and on the outer edges so that it doesn't just look like a streak of highlighter. And I personally like a really poppin' brow bone, so I'm gonna add a few layers of that highlighter there. So then I'm gonna take some more of 7-Day Weekend and I'm gonna apply that on my cheekbone. And I like to go higher up on the cheekbone. I know that Fenty has coined this as the Fenty highlight, where you kind of go up, working from the cheekbone up onto even the side of the cheekbone, like the temples, where the cheekbone and the temples connect, and really swooshing it up. And then when you turn, you get a nice glow on that whole part of your bone structure that really nicely complements your brow bone. Just, again, keep layering until you feel satisfied with it, and then I'm going to take a little bit more of 7-Day Weekend and put it on my nose and on my Cupid's bow. And there we go. So I did go in and I added some, some liner. For liner, I used some black eyeshadow, and I just did kind of like a faux liner look where I went in with a little brush. It's often what I end up doing because I like that soft look. And I also really want to practice more with liquid liner because it makes me nervous. I also filled in my brows and I did my lipstick. If you guys have questions about any of the looks that I did here, other than just the eyes, of course, let me know. So yeah, there's the look for you guys, and I hope you like it.
I'll start with the packaging first to kick off the review. It's a lovely, just clean, white, very, blocky, very simple. They're pretty easy to open. You just pop them open right here. And then I love that you get a mirror with it so you can, pop your highlighter on when you're on the go, which is something that I also really like about some of my other favorite highlighters like Becca. In terms of formula, I think that these things are really creamy and they don't stay too sticky or tacky or anything like that. They do dry down to kind of like a nice powder. Like Becca does a similar thing with their highlighters, I think, where it's very creamy, but then it doesn't feel like it's like gonna move and smudge and all of that stuff because it dries down to kind of like a nice powdery finish, but not so powdery that it's just gonna, fly away. The staying power is pretty good. I have worn all of these colors, for hours and hours. Each time that I've done a look with these, and they've stayed really nicely. They haven't smudged. They look good. Let's see, scent. They have a light sort of, I guess, kind of scent to them, but I don't notice it on my face at all. It just smells kind of clean. It's like a very light scent of, what is that? I don't know what it is, but it's not much at all. I didn't even notice. Honestly, I had to do this right now just to even figure out if there was a scent. I wouldn't worry about that if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. Pigmentation is really great, and I do find that it's very buildable, and you can layer it and layer it. Like here on my brow bone, you know, with 7-Day Weekend, it's really popping. But then on my cheekbone, it's a little more subtle. I didn't layer quite as many times. And then on my eyes, you know, I didn't layer as many times either. I find that so I did use a primer. I think that, you know, you should probably do that. If you want to get as much pigment out of this as you possibly can, it'll just stick nicer and everything. What else? You can also layer it on top of other, you know, eyeshadows. I've done that too. But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of this product. I will continue to keep my eye out for, you know, more colors and things like that. I hope this was all helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions of things that I didn't answer in the comments. And let me know if you'd like to see more eye looks. I have done, like I said, eye looks with all of these combinations. I did find that I think the pink and purple, that's something I'm personally really into right now, the pastels and all that, but I'm kind of usually into pastels. So I did like this one a lot, and I also really liked Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset. That one was also just really pretty. Didn't enjoy Sandcastle and Minted Mojito on my eyes as much. It was just very frosty. I feel like I would wear that if I were dressing up as Elsa for Halloween or something. Even though I know she has purple eyeshadows in the movies, but yeah, it just didn't. But they would be great highlighters just on their own. I probably just won't use them as much for my eyes. I hope that answers your guys' questions. Like I said, let me know. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.